on the comfy couch is someone that, you know what, this person is just taking off. It's because they are doing what I believe they were born to do on this earth. And you can see it when you look in this person's eyes. Please welcome back to the comfy couch, Antonio Gomez. You are Director of Community Engagement, Extended Learning for our Tacoma Arts Live. Welcome, my friend.
It's good to see you, Amanda.
It's good to have you back. And in addition to talking about what you do to spread art around our community, you are also here wearing a second hat. And I put you in the category of like Kareem Candy when he comes on. He's able to do that wonderful dance that you're doing. And you are a musical artist. You have a current exhibit at the Seattle Fry Museum. And you are part of a wonderful movement called Lineajes. Did I get that right?
Lineajes.
Lineajes. You say it so beautifully. I'm just going to have you keep saying that. But let's talk to Tony, who can tell us about this Monet exhibit. So what's happening? I see at Tacoma Arts Live, I see information about this Monet exhibit. And what is the deal with all the water lilies popping up like election signs that never looked that good and never made you feel that good when you look at them? What's going on around town?
Yeah, so, well, Tacoma Arts Live just opened an immersive exhibition called Imagine Monet.
Yes.
And we are really excited to share this exhibition that does a deep dive and literally surrounds you by the work of Claude Monet, the founder of Impressionism,
Yes.
Impressionist art. And as part of the campaign to get the word out about the exhibition,
and here it is.
We had a community of folks who painted these water lilies and have posted them around town. And it draws everyone back to the historic Tacoma Armory, where people can experience the Monet exhibition. You're literally surrounded by the exhibition, and then step into a post-viewing experience that puts you in a small French village. You can do art, you can paint some of your own water lilies. But it is truly immersive in every sense of that word. You are seeing Monet all around you, below you. You're hearing music from the period of his life in the late 19th century. And it's really incredible. And I have to say too, so like I can feel the beta waves when I go to this exhibition. I'm just like,
Oh, yeah. And I'm so glad they didn't catch me on the air with my mouth hanging open, because I'm gobsmacked by what I haven't seen that video yet. That is incredible. And as somebody who's had the fortune to sit and to look at Monets and to look at water lilies, that has the same feeling as I felt when I saw it for the first time in Paris. So I'm not going to ask the question what people will experience, because that says it all right there. Now, you're not just featuring the work of Monet himself, you're also connecting with local artists. So tell us a little bit more how you're doing that, because you are all about local art.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, of course, Monet is incredible, is an inspiring artist, you know, from the late 1800s in France. And so how do we make the connection to Tacoma and to our community here? And so we kind of looked at like, what was Monet about? He was about disrupting what was the norm in the art world at the time and taking, you know, challenging the very realistic work of the time, and then doing something that was impressionistic with very flowing brush strokes. And so we asked the question to local artists, how do you Monet? How do you kind of like play
do you
with...
have t-shirts that say that? You
Not
better
yet.
get them.
Yeah, and so we were really thrilled to offer an opportunity for artists. 3 artists were selected from an open call. Cassandra Curing, who is taking the cue from Monet of, you know, challenging the norm, but she's doing it with materials.
Lovely.
Alexia Johnson's taking Monet's impressionistic style, but applying it to BIPOC subjects. So, and she's a portrait artist.
Love that.
And then Simi Blue is inspired from Monet's relationship with nature, and so building off of that. And so it's really exciting to see how local artists are are really in conversation with this iconic artist from from the
Yes.
19th century, and their work will also be it will be going in mid-March as part of the exhibition. So when people come to Imagine Monet, they'll have the Monet experience and then in the post-art space, they'll also see works by these artists, and we're working with the artists for limited edition prints as well.
Oh
so
my
folks
gosh.
can support these local artists.
And let's go back to the T-shirt, because I just have to have the T-shirt of How Do You, Monet. That is unbelievable. So so today I want to give us a time frame here. Today
Yeah.
is Thursday, February 22nd. This opened President's Day weekend, last weekend, is that correct? And how did Tacoma show up? What was our response to this? Because the Armory is starting to, I mean, we had Van Gogh there. It's starting to really carve out a name for itself in terms of what it's showing us. So what did Tacoma think of it?
Well, it was really exciting and inspiring to see how the opening happened. We had an incredible launch, and then we had a Valentine's Day event that surpassed expectations. And so it was really exciting to see how the Armory is really kind of taking its place as a cultural and community hub
Yes.
in Tacoma. And it's really Tacoma Arts Live's privilege and joy to help activate that space for the community.
Absolutely. And I want to, I'll see on this part, taking pictures in there with like, the Giverny, like lavender behind, incredible. Talk with me about, oh, look at this. Talk with me about the little cafe that you go into afterwards. Has that landed itself as a place for people to create the art that just inspired them?
Exactly. So once you go through the portion that focuses on Monet, in that post space is we've set it up like a little French village, and you can get refreshments there. And then there's also an art making space. And so I have to say, one of my favorite things to do is to steal away from my desk downstairs and go and paint a water lily. It is so
Like
therapeutic.
this.
Yes.
Oh, I bet. Oh,
Yeah.
I bet. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, as much as I love Monet and Mary Cassatt and all of those beautiful salon French Impressionists, I love you more. I want you now to switch gears with me from your role at Tacoma Arts Live to your life, which, knowing you, there's not much difference because you are as fluid as they get as a Tacoma-based musical artist. So tell us a little bit about what you do musically and what you brought with you.
Yeah, so I'm mainly a percussionist. I've been a percussionist since I was a kid. I was inspired by the drum circles in San Francisco when I was growing up in the 70s. And,
Yes.
and so I studied percussion and worked in a lot of different genres. Right now I work mostly with different types of music from various parts of the world, mainly Latin America and the Mediterranean.
Okay, all right. So your interest in a way with music and culture, it intersects, but it's not limited to just musical performance, isn't it? Let's talk about that beautiful big project you have at Seattle at the Fry Art Museum, which has just taken the spiritual wind out of you when you saw, I have to say it, your picture was above Madonna's in the paper. Congratulations.
Yeah, that was,
I mean,
for a Gen X person, it was like, what is happening?
Well, yeah, and I said to you, did you tell your parents? And you're like, yes, of course. So how is the exhibit and the project at the Art Fry Museum being received also?
Yeah, it's been really, it's really been humbling and exciting to see the ways that that people are responding to this exhibition. It's called Lineajes. And it is basically, if you were to do a 23andMe of
Yes.
music
Yes.
and kind of tug on the lines of like where it took you, this would be that experience. So you're seeing this family tree that connects different continents, different cultures, through instruments and through recordings of different genres of music. For me, it's a very personal project as well.
Yes.
Being someone who, my personal story involves different cultural stories, and so to me this ties with my passion around music to explore that. And, you know, even you take a song like an iconic Tacoma song like Louie Louie, right?
Yes, there it is.
And then you can trace the history of Louie Louie that, you know, the big version from Tacoma was connected to an R&B version out of LA, which in turn was based on a cha-cha-cha recording. And so all of these layers of music are just so fascinating to me. And they also remind us that when we look at each other, we have things in common.
Pause, pick up that instrument
Oh,
right
sure.
there. And I want you just to kind of strum it as you're telling me about how we all pause.
So this is a jarana from Veracruz, Mexico, and it helps tell the story of how music travels. So, you know, the guitar is based on North African and Middle Eastern lutes, which in turn develops in Southern Europe and then travels to the Americas during the colonial era. But in the Americas, it takes on all these different forms, and this is one of them. So just like the modern guitar evolved out of that story, so did the jarana. And this is used in Afro-Mexican music from the Gulf Coast.
Okay, hello, there it is. So this also, I mean, because when I look at this, Tony, I think about a guitar, but I also think about a ukulele. I think about all of the things that it evolved into.
Exactly. These are all family members
Yes.
in this instrument family.
You've got some other family members on the couch with you too.
Yes, I brought some members from the tambourine family. So first, this very small one from Morocco. It's a rik, small classical tambourine. Tambourine's a classical instrument in the Arab world. A larger Moroccan-style bendir.
Love that.
And then from my mom's side of the family, this is a tamora, which is the tambourine used in Naples. And so, yeah, go big or go home on that one.
Thank you. In this last 10 seconds, let's talk about some of the special activities that are connected with the exhibition that you have going on.
So the exhibition is at the Fry Art Museum through March 10th. On March 6th, we'll have a free concert that'll include my Trio Wada Levine, with Sepharine, which is a group that does flamenco music and music from Morocco. And we'll be tracing some of these stories from North Africa and Europe to Latin America.
Wonderful.
And seeing how it all intersects.
Tony, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me back, Amanda. It's good to see you.
My pleasure. Looks like the Cityline Comfort Cafe is full of some new groove and guests. We'll get to know them when we come right back.